Now, Governor Cuomo's re-election bid, it's getting a lot of support, not just from the usual suspects, but from conservatives. However, that appeal has many people within the governor's own party throwing their support elsewhere, or at least potentially sitting it out. Republicans, they like the governor's tax cuts and his backing of charter schools. Some Democrats say the governor, he's leaning too far right other than on some social issues. Article in the Times reports liberals' misgivings about Mr. Cuomo, one of the nation's obviously most prominent Democratic governors, quickly coming into focus as the Working Families Party, one of New York's most effective political organizations in recent years, considers whether to endorse him. We had an idea, Andrew and I, this morning, Dominic. If they wanted to appease them, why not get an agitator, a troublemaker, a pain in the you-know-what, to be the lieutenant governor, and he gets...
I accept.
You would not. I would pay good money. How much would you pay to imagine him, lieutenant governor, because Duffy's gone now, right? And actually have to sit quiet in the press conference. You couldn't do it.
I would invest in Advil for the governor's mansion.
Kathy Hochul of Buffalo. Former congressman.
I'm telling you, it's not that stupid an idea. They would make everybody go away because they said nobody would put up with Richard. He would agitate enough. Would you honestly take it if offered?
I am the Ken Lipper of New York politics.
Don't do that to Ken.
Yeah,
Ken's a good man. I have a question. Seriously, if offered, would you accept Lieutenant Governor?
I would never be offered it. I'm retired. I'm having a wonderful time. Thank you very much. This has all been funny and a joke. You set me up. You played along with them.
I don't think it's as crazy as an idea.
And then there's also talk that the Working Families Party is going to go away from Cuomo and nominate somebody on their own for governor.
Well, why would they waste their time doing that? Would they really do that?
That's what the Times story today
I know,
was about.
But
there is. Look.
Let's say that was the phone
They're
call.
not getting
Let's say that was the phone call.
You've had me here talking about progressionary. On social issues, on identity issues, gay marriage, guns, abortion.
He's not right. He's bet out front.
He's left. Tax cuts,
I know.
Spending cuts. He's a Tea Party austerity bug.
He's a little bit strong, but
so
okay.
if the phone rings and it's the WFP saying we need a gubernatorial candidate, hey, Richard Brodsky?
Hey, good looking.
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
Depends how much they will. No, I'll tell you right now. I know he likes me.
Not interested.
The only thing with this entire logic, number 2 on the ticket means that you shut
and
up.
He can't do that.
You have nothing to say. You do as you're told.
I'm sitting here and taking it.
And listen, and when you go against the system, right? And when you go against that system, Richard, it's like your girl who appears on the program. She was the lieutenant governor, and she stood up. Betsy McCoy Ross, and she stood up in the middle of Pataki's. That's the opposite.
Let's just say that there's real politics going on aside from this last 5 minutes. When you want to cover it, invite me back.
All right. I want to jump ahead to a couple sports things if I could. And one of them was NFL draft, endless 3 days. I actually watched more of it than I care to admit. In the 7th round, a defensive end from Missouri that normally would not even, whose name wouldn't be known, Michael Sam becomes the first openly gay athlete drafted. And then after that, he puts the phone down and he kisses his boyfriend. What to me the interesting reaction has been, at least within the league, everybody says good things. One player says, I forget the exact language, but either unacceptable or gross or something. Team finds him, and they're going out public and condemning him, whatever. Do you think, even in the NFL, the most alpha league that there is, we will be pleasantly surprised by how welcomed he will be, or will we hear nonsense like from the Miami locker room last year?
I think that they're going to be quiet, the players, the smart ones, and I think that they're going to try and kill him on the field. I think that they're feeling challenged, whether it's right or wrong, and I don't think that they like it. I mean, I'm not giving you the politically correct answer. I'm telling you what I think NFL football players are going to do. He's going to be a marked man once the season starts.
We should have a look back section once a month to go back to what people said.
You
6
really
months ago.
want to do that?
Come on.
No,
all
to a
right.
pound.
All right.
Bang!
All right. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
You think, I'm with Richard. I think we overestimate the intolerance out there when, I know it's out there, but this is bad business to be intolerant today. You know, and I think everyone's looking out for number one and the bottom line. Do they really want to be, you know, the ugly American who hasn't gotten with the program?
There's always going to be an idiot factor, but it's not going to be systematic.
You agree?
Yes, I personally think that it's so socially unacceptable And some of these rebukes with fines and other things are actually very good for the society because it makes what was always kind of tolerated actually unacceptable and uncool.
Yep.
And I think as soon as sexual preference and race and things like that are out in the open and everybody kind of feels it's normal.
Everybody
and,
worried what was the big deal.
Yes. I think it just goes into the fabric of the culture.
But at
and
least
you
early
won't
on,
have
that's
it.
in public. I mean, they'll say all the right things. The teams will do all the right things. They'll penalize people who go out of line. The question is, what happens behind closed doors? What happens in the field when
Interestingly,
people
the
can't
question
see?
will be, if he's not good enough a football player and a team
Yep.
cuts him, will the society, both left and right, tolerate
Yep.
a football decision?
And
if
we
it's not a
would, by
good
the
one?
way,
And will he
had
be
that
criticized
conversation
more closely
if he
because of-
wasn't picked in that final round of the draft as he was. The question would have been, was this based off of talent or was this based off teams not wanting to have
But that
him
will
on the
always
roster?
be the question surrounding him now.
Yes, if he gets cut, the question will he cut it, but I think he's going to get a fair shot in training camp, and at least I'm rooting for him. Okay, finally, it's hockey season. A lot of, at least our favorite teams, and Dominic's a huge hockey fan, may be out, but the Rangers obviously in, and one player in particular who came late in the season to him, Martin St. Louis, he went to the ice on Mother's Day with a heavy heart. That just days after his mother suddenly and unexpectedly passed away. He even found more courage to go on camera and speak about his loss after he scored the first goal in last night's critical Game 6.
My mom would want me to play this game, and you know, she'd be proud of me coming here and help as much as I can. And the boys have been so supportive. The support I've gotten for the New York Rangers, my teammates, and my friends and family, friends around the league, old friends, has been unbelievable.
And again, the timing of it, nobody would have faulted him for not playing. He was the star of the game. Now they're going to have a critical Game 7, I think tomorrow night. Yeah. But for one day at least, everybody was at least one Ranger fan. It was something to see. And again, I'm not a big Ranger follower, but I watched, and you couldn't have written a better script if you're a Ranger fan.
From a hockey standpoint, I am no fan of Martin St. Louis, the Rangers, or the Lightning. He's been a sort of
Featured
a rival of
Capitals
my
too
team
many times, yeah.
many times. But good on him for being able to do that. And I think everybody was in his corner yesterday. That's one of the beautiful parts about sports. Is that we've all been in spots like that, and we've all needed a lift, and to be able to find it that way from him or to watch him do it, it's a great story.
Ranger fan?
And I hope that.
Well, I'm a Ranger fan, but I'm not as up on it as I should be.
Yeah, well, yesterday didn't
Weren't
have
you
much.
part of building the new guard?
Oh, no.
Weren't you? Wasn't that during your tenure?
That's
Damn.
If bonds or anything gets
Center.
floated in there, you
Convention
managed to
Center.
take that story and go over it.
Yankee Stadium, City Field.
Ken, I appreciate it,
Thank
and
you
we didn't
very
get you
much
in
for
any
having
trouble
me.
either. Oh, you were a pleasure
Thanks
here,
very
and
Thank you.
Richard even praised you, which is in very short supply. Trust me.
Well,
It
I
is.
appreciate that.
It is.
Yes.
I appreciate it. He knows me.
Don't
from the best.
encourage him. Don't
106
encourage
years.
him.
He's had a long time to judge me.
Yeah.
6 years. You're doing very well.
All right. Now, just a little programming note. Tune in on Friday on RFL. We have a special. For the whole hour, we're going to be focusing on what can only be called an epidemic in our region, our nation. That has been the spread of heroin. You're going to hear from addicts, social workers, community activists, all on the front lines of this, trying to combat the addiction that really has taken over communities and destroyed lives. And remember, it is now in the suburbs. If you thought that this was from street junkie drug, you are completely mistaken. You'll have everybody in every aspect of it telling you what is really going on out there. Again, that's this Friday at 6 p.m. Coming up next, major change of gears here. Sunday, Japan Day in New York. Up next, we'll be hearing from the NHK mascot Domo, and believe me when I tell you his international following. That up next. Stay with us.